the unseen headstone includes the following locations: Forsaken Castle Cainhurst, Yahar'gul Unseen Village, Abandoned Old Workshop. Starting with Forsaken Castle Cainhurst. Cainhurst is the castle of an old noble family that once had dealings with Yharnam. The wealthy family came from a long bloodline, but were very private and closed off. Out of the blue, they suddenly vanished without saying goodbye to anyone. Now, Cainhurst has become a frozen-over ruin, with no roads leading in or out, and is merely visible through the thick fog of the lake as a regal black silhouette. What happened to the family that ruled this castle for many generations? What secrets and what dangers await you here? While in Yharnam, blood is an object of worship, in Canehurst, blood is an object of desire. The nobles of Canehurst were elitist and aristocratic, enjoying form and elegance over strength or functionality. In Canehurst, your status at court is everything. The closer you are to the queen, the more important you are. The further away you are, the less you matter. The highest honors in Cainhurst was to be named a vile blood, one of the elite inner circle of Queen Annalise, as evidenced by the ritual Queen Annalise makes the player character hunter perform should they choose to become a vile blood. The vile bloods imbibed in the Queen's blood, while Yharnamites shared blood through injection and transfusion. The nobles of Cainhurst seemed to drink it directly from the source. As Queen Annalise extends her wrist to the hunter, the vile bloods were the elite guard of the Queen and would travel out to hunt for her, bringing tribute back to her in the form of blood dregs. While there are beasts in Cainhurst, they are much different from the beasts of Yharnam. There is no sign of lycanthropy, the main symptom of the condition we refer to as the scourge of beasts, anywhere to be found in Cainhurst. Instead, the beasts of Cainhurst were twisted, malformed things that drained the blood from the ground. The official description of the bloodlickers reads, "With no host left to defend Cainhurst Castle from the beastly siege, these deadly, vile creatures prowl the grounds, gorging themselves on the tainted fluid of the fallen." Indeed, the bloodlickers seem more interested in draining blood from corpses than they are from the player character hunter. Unlike Yharnam's beasts, which rip and tear flesh to shreds in pure rage, the bloodlickers move quietly from corpse to corpse, drinking. We have here an example of a very different kind of beast, one wholly unlike the beasts of Yharnam. Yharnam beasts, we know, are the result of individuals succumbing to the tainted blood of the Great Ones, infected thanks to the use of blood administration. The bloodlickers, infested with vermin, must have a different origin. Let us recall what Alfred says about Cainhurst. Once a scholar betrayed his fellows at Björgenworth and brought forbidden blood back with him to Cainhurst Castle. Whatever blood was brought to Cainhurst, it was most certainly not the blood of the Great Ones. It was something different, forbidden, impure. The introduction of the forbidden blood led to a new mission by the then burgeoning healing church and the formation of the executioners. We know that the executioners of old did battle against the Cainhurst Vilebloods. From the accounts we have access to, it was not a close battle. Ligarius Wheel describes itself as being used to slaughter the Vilebloods in Canehurst, bathed in the pools of their blood and forever steeped in their ire. Slaughter is the key word here. The nobles of Canehurst were systematically executed. The Vilebloods were bludgeoned to death by the mighty wheels of Ligarius. For all their elegance and beauty, the Cainhurst Vilebloods were no match for the fury of the executioners. But there was one Vileblood who could not be slain, Annalise, Queen of Castle Cainhurst, ruler of the Vilebloods, and sworn enemy of the Church. Connections: Hemwick Charnel Lane to Forsaken Castle Cainhurst. The large obelisk in the middle of Hemwick Crossing, after obtaining the Cainhurst summons from the back of Yusefka's clinic. If you return to this obelisk, a carriage will arrive, and if you board it, you'll be taken directly to the castle. NPCs: Annalise, Queen of Cainhurst, in Queen's Chamber. Alfred, Hunter of Vilebloods, in Queen's Chamber, after you give him the unopened summons. General notes: Entrance Hall items. Upon stepping inside the entrance hall, you'll immediately hear the crying of multiple Forsaken Castle spirits. But they will remain hidden and not pose a threat until you pick up one of the items in the area. Exact triggers are 3 corpses loot in the entrance hall and not the chest loot. Returpolash. I probably am pronouncing that wrong. Which you can grab freely without spirits materializing. On the ground floor there are 2 corpses, one with madman's knowledge each, and on the upper floor corpse with 1 bloodstone chunk. Queen's Chamber. When Martyr Ligarius is defeated, not only will you gain access to Ligarius' seat lamp, but a new item will appear on the ground near the entrance. This item is the Crown of Illusions, and it is said to have the power to reveal an illusion. Equip it and walk towards the wall behind Ligarius' throne. The path to the Queen's Chamber is revealed. Sinister Bell Ringer online. The Bell Ringer is located at Library Rooftop prior to Spire Rooftops on your way to Martyr Ligarius. When Bell Ringer Woman is present, versus PvP invasions are possible. World changes. Martyr Ligarius defeated. Acquire the Crown of Illusions. Acquire the unopened summons. Gain access to Ligarius' seat lamp. Gain access to the Vileblood Queen's Chamber lamp. Area progression. Go to the obelisk in Hemwick Crossing, part of Hemwick Charnel Lane, after getting the Cainhurst summons from Yusefka's clinic to reach the area. Acquire the Returpolash from entrance hall. Get the Vile Blood register from library first floor. Get Evelyn from library first floor. Go to the secluded reading room to get the executioner's gloves. Defeat Martyr Ligarius and equip the Crown of Illusions to reveal the Queen's chambers. Get the unopened summons from the Queen's chambers. Talk to the Queen and join the Vile Bloods to get the Cainhurst badge. Enemies. Regular enemies. Parasite larva. No drops. Cain's servant, Cain. Drops. Blood vial times 1, 22%. Cain's servant, Cain. And candelabra. Drops. Quicksilver bullets times 2, 22%. Cain's servant, rapier. Drops. Blood vial times 2, 95%. Numbing mist times 1, 5%. Lost child of antiquity. Drops. Twin bloodstone shards times 1, 28%. Bloodstone chunk times 1, 1.5%. Forsaken Castle Spirit, knife, no drops. Forsaken Castle Spirit, head, no drops. Wandering Nightmare, drops. Bloodstone chunk times 2. Strong enemies, blood liquor, drops. Random gun type gem times 1, 16%. Item treasures. Numbing mist times 2. The corpse by the fountain on the path to the castle doors. Frenzied cold blood times 1. On the corpse behind the room with the elevator in it, overlooking Worm Gully. Tempering blood gemstone. The corpse at the very end of Worm Gully. Numbing mist times 4. A corpse in feeding time underneath the blood liquors. Frenzied cold blood times 1. A corpse in feeding time underneath the blood liquors. Frenzied cold blood times 1. A corpse in feeding time underneath the blood liquors. Numbing mist times 4. When approaching the entrance hall, turn right at the castle doors and follow the wall around. They are on a corpse in a blood liquor overlooking it. Madman's knowledge times 1. The corpse against the pillar in the left-hand side of the lower floor of the entrance hall. Madman's knowledge times 1. The corpse against the wall on the right-hand side of the lower floor of the entrance hall. Retirpalash. The chest on the lower floor of the entrance hall, in the corner on the right of the stairs. Bloodstone chunk times 1. The corpse on the top floor of the entrance hall, on the far side opposite the entrance to the banquet room. Quicksilver bullets times 4. The corpse in the exact center of the banquet room. Noble dress. The chest in the banquet hall near the pile of broken statues opposite the wall with the large portraits on it. Bloodstone chunk times 1. While traveling along the castle ramparts from the banquet hall, Turn left and go up the tower. It is on the corpse behind the lost child of antiquity. Executioner's set. From Gargoyle Corridor, turn right at the top of the library first floor and continue down statue storage. It is on the corpse between the two lost children of antiquity. Vile blood register. In a chest in library first floor near the elevator. Evelyn. In a chest in library first floor against the bookshelves behind the 3 tables near the base of the staircase leading to library second floor. And to reach it, you must climb the second small set of stairs on the wall opposite the elevator and drop down onto the tables. Bloodstone chunk ×1. The corpse at the far end of library second floor. Quicksilver bullets ×6. The corpse at the ledge outside of library second floor after dropping down from the broken window. Executioner's gloves. Arcane spell. A chest in secluded reading room in the corner to the right where you enter by dropping down from library second floor. Knight's set. A chest in secluded reading room in the corner to ahead and to the left where you enter after dropping down from library second floor. Kin Cold Blood. After crossing the castle ledges between library balcony and secret bookcase, follow the path past the open window and along the further section of the roof. It is on the corpse below the lost child of antiquity. Warm blood gemstone. The chest to the left of the top of the ladder leading to library third floor in the shaft of light. Knight's wig. The corpse on library rooftops near the unique red-eyed lost child of antiquity. Kin Cold Blood ×1. On spire rooftops path to Ligarius, on a corpse in the base of the ladder. Bold Hunter's Mark ×2. On the roof prior to Ligarius, in the corner directly opposite the top of the ladder. Unopened summons. Queen's Chamber, on the desk to the right of Annalise's throne. Area highlights. Bosses. Martyr Ligarius. Enemies. Parasite larva. Cain's servant, Cain. Cain's servant, Cain and Candelabra. Cain's servant, Rapier. Lost child of antiquity. Forsaken castle spirit, knife. Forsaken castle spirit, head. Wandering nightmare, blood liquor. NPCs. Annalise, Queen of Cainhurst. Alfred, Hunter of Vile Bloods. Important items. Returpalash. Bloodstone chunk. Noble dress. Executioner's set. Evelyn. Blood vial register. Executioner's gloves arcane spell. Knight's set. Knight's wig. Warm blood gemstone. Unopened summons. Tempering blood gemstone. Insight events. +2 insight. Arrive in the area. +1. Encounter Martyr Ligarius. +3. Defeat Martyr Ligarius. +2. Enter the Queen's Chamber. Yahar'gul Unseen Village. In the early days of the Healing Church, the group of scholars operated mostly in secret. Gurman's workshop would serve as a secret police force for the church, while Mikolash would found the School of Mensis, a new institution of learning for the church to continue the research at Bjergenworth. According to the Upper Cathedral Key, the upper echelons of the Healing Church are formed by the School of Mensis, based in the Unseen Village, and the choir occupying the Upper Cathedral Ward. The key is found in Yahar'gul on a corpse of an imprisoned choir member. From their new, secret location in Yahar'gul, Mikolash's new School of Mensis would be protected and hidden by the Healing Church. The Yahar'gul attire tells us the hunters of Yahar'gul answered to the village's founders, the School of Mensis, hunters in name only. These kidnappers blend into the night wearing this attire. From their hidden conclave, servants of the School of Mensis would skulk out into the night and kidnap innocents to drag them back to Yahar'gul for their experiments. The player character Hunter can be one such kidnapped victim, as if you die to a kidnapper, an enemy that first makes their appearance after the death of the blood-starved beast. The hunter also encounters and fights 2 Yahar'gul hunters lurking outside of a home in Cathedral Ward, possibly searching for more victims. It would seem, however, that the School of Mensis slowly drifted apart from the Healing Church. While Yarnamites venerate the Old Blood and pay homage to the Great Ones as being godlike figures, the citizens of Yahar'gul worship the Great Ones directly. Statues of the twisted figures line the streets, and enormous chapels were devoted to the worship of spider-like Great Ones. Connections: Yahar'gul Unseen Village to Old Yarnum. Yahar'gul Unseen Village to Lecture Building, 2nd floor. NPCs: Adela, nun of the Healing Church. General notes: Yahar'gul Unseen Village, evening. This version of Yahar'gul Unseen Village is only available up until you defeat the boss in Bjergenworth, changing the time to Blood Moon. At this point, all of the kidnappers get killed, and many other changes occur in the area, so if you want to check this place out, don't leave it too late. Yahar'gul Unseen Village, evening, kidnapping. To reach this area, you're going to have to go against your natural instincts and actually let a specific enemy kill you. After defeating the boss in Old Yarnum, kidnapper enemies will be released in various areas, and the first time one of them kills you, a cutscene will trigger during which you'll be transported to this area. The kidnappers can be found in the following areas: just outside the Odin Chapel in Cathedral Ward, to the side of the lower chapel in Cathedral Ward, at the top of the cliffs in the Cathedral Ward, in the village alleyways of the Healing Church workshop, at the end of the village outskirts in the Forbidden Woods. It's important to remember, however, that you will still lose your blood echoes when a kidnapper kills you. So make sure you spend them first before triggering the event, or keep in mind to return to the place where the kidnapper killed you without dying along the way. Burning corpses, blood moon. If a crammed casket touches one of the burning corpses situated in craters throughout the streets of Yahar'gul, it will take heavy damage and burst into flames, drastically reducing its speed and weakening its attacks for about 60 seconds. While this provides an advantage for a relatively long period of time, beware that each corpse will run out of power after being touched several times. Old Hunter Summons. Defector Antle. Summon sign is behind the last carriage before the fog gate to the One Reborn on the left. He can't take the shortcut lift. You can only summon either Antil or Yamamura to assist you, not both simultaneously. Yamamura, the Wanderer, Confederate, behind a carriage on the left side of the road a short distance before the boss room of the One Reborn. In order to summon Yamamura for this fight, you must first kill him in the Hunter's Nightmare and equip the Impurity Rune. You can summon Yamamura or Antil to assist you in the battle against the One Reborn, but not both simultaneously. Area progression. Obtain the Moon Carol Rune from Yahar'gul Chapel. Get the Tonitrus from Main Street West. Kill a Dark Beast Parl to acquire the Spark Hunter badge and open up the back way into Old Yarnum so that you can speak with Jura and peacefully get the Powder Keg badge. Go to the holding cell to acquire the Upper Cathedral Key and Tiny Tonitrus. Kill the One Reborn and inspect the mummy in the next room to be taken to the lecture building 2nd floor. Enemies. Evening. Regular enemies. Huntsman. Bare fists. Drops. Blood vial ×1, 4%. Rabid dog. No drops. Wandering nightmare. Drops. Twin bloodstone shards ×3. Strong enemies. Kidnapper. Drops. Twin bloodstone shards ×1, 30%. Bloodstone shard ×2, 65%. Bolt paper ×1, 5%. Eye collector. Drops. Pebble ×6, 35%. Pebble ×3, 61%. Bloodshot eyeball ×1, 4%. Man-eater boar. Drops. Blood vial ×4, 20%. Blood vial ×2, 80%. Enemies. Blood moon. Regular enemies. Huntsman, torch and axe. Drops. Blood vial ×1, 10.5%. Quicksilver bullets ×2, 5%. Molotov cocktail ×1, 2.5%. Huntsman, torch and shield. Drops. Blood vial ×1, 10.5%. Quicksilver bullets ×2, 5%. Molotov cocktail times 1, 2.5%. Huntsman, sickle, drops, blood vial times 1, 4%. Huntsman, cleaver, drops, blood vial times 1, 4%. Huntsman, cutlass, drops, blood vial times 2, 16%. Huntsman, pitchfork, drops, blood vial times 1, 4%. Huntsman, rifle, drops, quicksilver bullets times 3, 25%. Huntsman, Molotov, drops, blood vial times 1, 10.5%. Molotov cocktail times 1, 5%. Wheelchair huntsman, pistol, no drops. Wheelchair huntsman, rifle, no drops. Wheelchair huntsman, Gatling gun, no drops. Rabid dog, no drops. Hemwick grave woman, sickle, random gem based on area, times 1, 1%. Blood vial times 1, 4%. Hemwick grave woman, pole iron, drops, random gem based on area times 1, 1%. Blood vial times 1, 4%. Hemwick grave woman, hammer, drops, random gem based on area times 1, 1%. Blood vial times 1, 8%. Hemwick grave woman, cleaver and torch, drops, random gem based on area times 1, 2.5%. Blood vial times 1, 8%. Quicksilver bullets times 2, 2.5%. Hemwick grave woman, cleaver and Molotov, drops, random gem based on area times 1, 1%. Blood vial times 1, 4%. Molotov cocktail times 2, 5%. Wandering nightmare, drops, twin bloodstone shards times 3, bloodstone chunk times 2. Strong enemies, scourge beast, skeletal, drops, bloodstone chunk times 1, 4%. Twin bloodstone shards times 2, 15%. Twin bloodstone shards times 1, 76%. Beast blood pellet times 1, 5%. Huntsman's minion, brick, drops, blood vial times 4, 2.5%. Blood vial times 2, 17.5%. Shining coins times 3, 2.5%. Shining coins times 2, 2.5%. Huntsman's minion, statue, drops, blood vial times 4, 2.5%. Blood vial times 2, 17.5%. Shining coins times 3, 2.5%. Shining coins times 2, 2.5%. Bell ringer, drops, quicksilver bullets times 3, 30%. Quicksilver bullets times 2, 70%. Cramped casket, drops, random hunter gem times 1, 8%. Random Kin Hunter Gem times 1, 8%. Hunter enemies: Yahar'gul Hunter, Threaded Cane, and Flame Sprayer. Drops: Madman's Knowledge times 1. Yahar'gul Hunter, Beast Claw, and Hunter Pistol. Drops: Clawmark Carol Rune times 1. Yahar'gul Hunter, Rifle Spear and Cannon. Drops: Quicksilver Bullets times 20. Item treasures: Thick Cold Blood times 1. On the corpse in front of a note near the stairs leading down from prisoner holding area to storeroom. Frenzied Cold Blood times 1. When you reach the bottom of the stairs from prison holding area to storeroom, walk to the far side of the room and look for a single uncovered mirror in the shaft of light. It is on the corpse beneath the mirror. Blood Vial times 6. Prison cells: on a corpse in the cell closest to the locked door leading outside. Quicksilver Bullets times 10. The corpse leaning against the wall between the two cells in prison cells. Moon Carol Rune: the corpse in the middle of the floor of Yahar'gul Chapel. Frenzied Cold Blood times 1. Take the steps from Main Street West to Elevator Path. Instead of continuing to the elevator, take the path from the parallel to Side Alley. It is on a corpse in an alcove visible when facing Main Street West. Bolt Paper times 5. On the way from Yahar'gul Chapel stairs to the dead end of Main Street West, investigate the small dead end path on the left-hand side that goes underneath Elevator Path. It is on the corpse behind the man-eater boar. Tonitrus: corpse against the wall at the dead end of Main Street West, guarded by 2 rabid dogs and a kidnapper. Yahar'gul Black Set: the corpse on the cart near Main Street Gate. Frenzied Cold Blood times 1. Go up the small set of steps near Main Street Gate and turn left. It is on the corpse at the dead end. Madman's Knowledge times 1. A corpse near the huge gate in Main Street Gate guarded by 2 rabid dogs. Madman's Knowledge times 1. Same as previous. Madman's Knowledge times 1. Same as previous. Twin Bloodstone Shards times 1. The corpse in the alcove opposite the locked door leading from access path to prisoner holding area. Frenzied Cold Blood times 1. The corpse next to the locked door leading from access path to prisoner holding area. Frenzied Cold Blood times 1. The corpse in the small alcove between the second and third set of steps in entry stairs. Bloodstone Chunk times 1. The corpse behind the pile of statues opposite to the top of the stairs of the false god. Near the stairs down to Elevator Plaza. Iron Yahar'gul Helm. The corpse leaning against the pillar in Elevator Plaza. Bolt Damp Blood Gem. After entering the building at the base of the stairs of the false god, climb the steps onto the platform and go inside the prison cell. It is on a corpse in the corner to the left. Yahar'gul Rune. After entering the building at the base of the connecting staircase, go down the corridor to the left. Continue past the steps. It is on a corpse in the corner. Frenzied cold blood ×1. In the building at the base of the connecting stairs, it is on a corpse in the cell behind the bell ringer. Bolt paper ×3. When taking the connecting stairs, look for a gap in the side railing and drop down onto the platform below. Face away from the sacrifice square and follow the platform around to the left. It is on a corpse in the pile of statues. Frenzied cold blood ×1. In rooftop attack, look for a gap in the railing on the side facing sacrifice square. It is on a corpse on the platform below. Upper Cathedral Key. From the upper level of holding cell, look for a gap in the barrier and drop down into the cell. It is on the corpse wearing the choir garb. Tiny Tonitrus. In the chest on the lower level of holding cell, guarded by a sleeping huntsman's minion. Bloodstone chunk ×1. The corpse leaning against the statue in between the two sets of stairs in rooftop attack. Frenzied cold blood ×1. The corpse next to the huntsman with the rifle in split terrace. Drop down from the platform above to reach it. Blood vial ×8. When traveling from split terrace to Yahar'gul Chapel, turn left into the small alcove with a pile of statues just before the door. They are on the corpse. Bloodstone chunk ×2. The dead kidnapper in the corner of the storeroom. Bloodstone chunk ×2. The dead kidnapper in prison cells near the path leading to Graveyard of the Dark Beast. Bloodstone chunk ×2. The dead kidnapper in the small dead end under the bridge that forms next to the elevator path. Bloodstone chunk ×2. The dead kidnapper by the shuddering corpse cart in Main Street West. Bloodstone chunk ×1. In Main Street Overlook. Continue past the bath and follow the stairs down past the Wandering Nightmare. It is on the corpse hanging over the railing, guarded by a Yahar'gul Scourge Beast. Frenzied cold blood ×1. The corpse halfway up the stairs to Main Street Bridge in the side furthest from Main Street Gate. Blood vial ×6. The corpse at the junction between Main Street Bridge and Main Street Access and Main Street Overpass. Tempering damp blood gem. In the building leading to Main Street Access, explore the bottom floor instead of leaving. It is on the corpse by the mirrors, guarded by a Yahar'gul Scourge Beast. Arcane Lake Carol Rune. A corpse in Main Street, in the corner near the burning corpse at the base of the tower opposite Main Street Access. Madman's Knowledge ×1. When approaching Advent Plaza from end of the road, follow the base of the tower to the left and take the upper path. It is on the corpse near the dead end. Madman's knowledge times 1. When approaching Advent Plaza from end of the road, follow the base of the tower to the right and take the upper path. Turning right at the end of it, it is on the corpse. Area highlights. Evening. Enemies. Huntsman, bare fists, rabid dog, wandering nightmare, kidnapper, eye collector, man-eater boar, NPCs, Adela, nun of the healing church. Important items: Moon, Carol Rune, Tonitrus, Yahar'gul Black Set, Twin Bloodstone Shards. Insight events: +1 insight, arriving in the prison. Area highlights: Blood Moon, bosses, the One Reborn, enemies, Huntsman, Torch and Axe, Huntsman, Torch and Shield, Huntsman, Sickle, Huntsman, Cleaver, Huntsman, Cutlass, Huntsman, Pitchfork, Huntsman, Rifle, Huntsman, Molotov, Wheelchair Huntsman, Pistol, Wheelchair Huntsman, Rifle, Wheelchair Huntsman, Gatling Gun, Rabid Dog, Hemwick Grave Woman, Sickle, Hemwick Grave Woman, Pole Iron, Hemwick Grave Woman, Hammer, Hemwick Grave Woman, Cleaver and Torch, Hemwick Grave Woman, Cleaver and Molotov, Wandering Nightmare, Scourge Beast, Skeletal, Huntsman's Minion, Brick, Huntsman's Minion, Statue, Bell Ringer, Cramped Casket, Yahar'gul Hunter, Threaded Cane and Flame Sprayer, Yahar'gul Hunter, Beast Claw and Hunter Pistol, Yahar'gul Hunter, Rifle Spear and Cannon. Important items: Bloodstone Chunk, Iron Yahar'gul Helm, Bolt Damp Blood Gem, Air Carol Rune, Upper Cathedral Key, Tiny Tonitrus, Tempering Damp Blood Gem, Arcane Lake Carol Rune. Insight events: +1 insight, encounter the One Reborn. +3 insight, defeat the One Reborn. Abandoned Old Workshop. This area is the real-world counterpart to the hunter's dream that hunters so frequently visit. So the layout should be immediately familiar. There is a number of items you can get in the grounds outside the workshop. Of particular note is the Old Hunter's Bone, which allows you to drastically increase your roll and quick-step speed for a short period of time. Inside you'll find the inactive remains of the doll and the abandoned old workshop lamp. The item on the altar in the workshop is 1/3 of umbilical cord, which is one of the items required to get a different ending to the game. On one of the cabinets near the lamp, you'll also find a small hair ornament, which you can give to the doll in the hunter's dream to receive an item that you can turn into a useful blood gem. Connections: Healing Church Workshop to Abandoned Old Workshop. General notes: in order to access the area, you need to defeat Blood-Starved Beast. Door to the elevator will open in Odin Chapel in Cathedral Ward. It will take you to the Healing Church Workshop. Go right around the tower until you come across the gap. Where you drop down, you will find the entrance. Walk off to the left as slowly as possible to hit the landing spot. Once you are there, jump to the next platform and enter the door. Upon entering Abandoned Old Workshop, you will be rewarded with the Source of the Dream trophy. The tombstone where the old hunter bone is located in the waking world also connects Hunter's Dream to the Hunter's Nightmare. There is no old hunter summons in this area. Female voice. There is a mysterious laughing and muttering voice near the trees. It is the same voice you hear in Foggy Alley and Cathedral Ward when interacting with the doors. Area progression. Go up the Odin Chapel elevator and access the hidden path to reach the Formless Odin Carol Rune. Go to Tower Floor 3 to get the Radiant Sword Hunter badge. Enter the Abandoned Old Workshop to get the Old Hunter Bone, 1/3 of umbilical cord, and the small hair ornament. Item treasures. The doll set. The chest in the alcove where the bath messengers are present in the hunter's dream. Old hunter bone. On the grave near the side entrance of the building where the doll sometimes prays in the hunter's dream. 3rd umbilical cord. On the altar in the building where the memory altar is in the hunter's dream. Small hair ornament. In a cabinet in the building near the Abandoned Old Workshop lamp. Area highlights. Important items. Doll set. Old hunter bone. Small hair ornament. 1/3 umbilical cord. Insight events. +2 insight. Enter the Abandoned Old Workshop. This concludes the Unseen Headstone